guys, in this science video, we're going to be talking about the science behind a vertical or 180-degree sidekick. And that is because in my last video, I was talking about how I made some sculptures for my friends, and a lot of them are really flexible, and one of them is even trying to learn this kind of kick. So there are two parts to be able to do a vertical sidekick. One is being super flexible to get your leg all the way up there, and then number two is having the strength to keep your leg in that position. But before we even talk about having the flexibility or strength, we need to talk about the muscular system. The muscular system is obviously made up of muscles, but also the connective tissues, called tendons, which connect your muscles to your bones. And there are three types of muscles: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. But for this video, we care most about the skeletal muscles, which are your only group of voluntary muscles. And, surprise, surprise, they are the ones connected to the skeleton. These kinds of muscles come in pairs, like your bicep and tricep. For example, when I do a push-up, the tricep contracts and the bicep relaxes, and on the way up, it reverses. Let's talk about flexibility first. So, in our everyday lives, we have a regular range of motion. For sidekick training, we obviously need to have a much larger range of motion, and this is where stretching will come in. When we zoom in on the muscles, we see that stretching pulls on the tendons and protective tissue. And there are three kinds of stretching: static, which is just holding a position; dynamic, which will target multiple muscle groups in one movement; and PNF, which stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which takes advantage of a feedback loop to enhance muscle relaxation and therefore increase the amount of stretching that can be done. And now, it's time for your $1 million question. Do muscles stretch like this rubber band? The answer is no. Unlike a rubber band, which is a homogeneous material, our muscles are made up of a lot of different tissues, and this is what is called viscoelastic, meaning that when you do your stretching, and if you keep sufficient activity, you should also be able to keep that new range of motion. Now for strength. Let's look at this exercise where I lean against a wall and raise my leg up. From here to here, my brain and body are working together. And you can see that my brain is sending signals to my body which activates some motor neurons. And when they receive a signal from my brain, they will fire. Then the muscles will pull on the bones in my body. And right here, my body is used to this range of motion, and my muscles don't need to put in that much effort. But if I keep increasing reps or the range of motion, these muscles will feel pain. But where does that pain even come from? This goes back to a topic you might have heard about in biology called cellular respiration. There are two types: aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is what we normally do, and it's also what our body starts to try to do during exercise. But our muscles need oxygen to create the energy that it needs to do these exercises. And when we do intense exercise, we need to breathe faster and faster. So aerobic respiration just becomes less and less feasible. The pain in the muscles comes from your muscles not being able to get the oxygen that it needs. So your body has to go through fermentation, which is a part of anaerobic respiration. The lactic acid byproduct is sent to the liver, where it's turned into glucose and used for energy instead. And by the way, this feeling of pain that you get in your muscles is also called acidosis. This pain leads to micro tears in the muscles, and then the damaged cells in your muscles will release cytokines, which are a type of inflammatory molecule. More damage means more repair, and this repeated damage will lead to muscle growth, which is called hypertrophy. And this is how muscles get stronger. So that's the basics of how stretching and strengthening work. If you want to learn more, I find the NIH articles very helpful. And as always, thanks for watching.